Hi guys, my name is Glenn, but you can call me SirGlenneth, the CEO of Soda, the awkward rumblings, coughs, and silence that you get when you know somebody wants to object the wedding, but no one actually has the balls to stand up and do it. And today, I got invited to a wedding. So here's the long and the short of it. One of my best friends from high school is getting married. As you're watching this video, if you're watching the day that came out, I am currently rushing through LA traffic to get to the airport on time so I can catch the flight back to Minnesota for the wedding. And so I thought it'd be fun to go through, because it is a spring wedding, it is happening in April, so I want to go through some spring cocktails, see what we can create, see what we can make. I did limit myself to only recipes and things based off of stuff I already have, so I didn't go out and specifically buy anything for this video. The closest that comes to that is this Ziploc of pineapple, which I had from the last video when I was making pina coladas, but nothing was specifically bought for this video. Also, to make it a little bit more entertaining, I'll have Logan, my roommate. He'll be in these, he'll be trying out all the cocktails, seeing what we think. He'll be here in just a second. I just wanted to cruise through this intro. Speaking of cruising through this intro, don't forget to give that subscribe button a high five for this adventure going on. This is like the second wedding I've ever been to. Well, like as like an adult, like I was invited, not like my family. I have a few classmates that I graduate with that have already gotten married, but for some inexplicable reason, I wasn't invited to any of their weddings. I think there's been 3 of those. But yeah, that's what we're doing today. So without any further ado, let's just jump into these spring fling wedding cocktails. This is what's going to happen. I'm going to say, so I'm here with, and then you actually, without laughing, have to say Logan. That's all you have to do.
That's fine. I'm sorry. I was 5 when I did that.
You did that, and Chase did that, and Chase did it again the second time we were filming when we were doing the Batman video. So I think it's just a comment.
I won't laugh. I'm all good.
Okay. Alright, so I'm here with my roommate,
Logan.
Oh my gosh. And yeah, basically I'm just gonna be making these drinks. We're gonna have some fun commentary about probably the Oscars, since that's what's happening very soon, like in the next couple of hours. And that's what this is like all dressed up for, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's gonna be a cool Oscar video. Do you want to give off any predictions? Do you want to save that for your video?
I mean, I have my predictions on my Twitter.
Okay.
But basically, I guess I'll give my prediction for Best Picture. I think without a doubt that The Power of the Dog will win, just because
fair.
That's what's been winning in a bunch of other different award shows. You got to pay attention to like the BAFTA and like the Film Critics Awards and shit. And both of those, I'm pretty sure both of those award shows gave Power of the Dog their Best Picture.
Yeah.
So I think it's without a doubt that Power of the Dog is gonna win. I
am notoriously bad at actually following the award show tour. That's not the proper name for it, but like the road to the Oscars,
right?
And like all the award shows that lead up to it. I think before I've always felt bad about it, but now I feel like it leaves me always pleasantly surprised about what's going to happen.
Yeah. I think with Best Picture, that's sometimes it's really difficult and sometimes it's really easy. Like, oh god, what year was it? Was like 2018 or something? That's when Green Book won.
Yeah.
I did not expect Green Book at all, because honestly, that movie wasn't that great. But and then like I think 2020 was when Parasite won. Easiest guess of all time.
Well, yeah. Everyone knew that Parasite was going to win. If you like. Even people who didn't watch the movie, just from like the buzz that they heard about it, knew that Parasite was going to win.
Pretty much, yeah. It's always a toss-up. It's either it's gonna surprise you or it's not gonna surprise you at all. And I think I'm gonna go with not surprise me at all. And it's gonna be like Power of the Dog.
I actually have to like grab a spoon to mix this. I want to bring up, just for everyone, obviously you can see the recipe on screen right now. I want Logan to confirm. Can you confirm the sticky note that I'm using? There's no measurements there.
Yeah.
Like, it is just like recipe 1 and then a list of ingredients. I almost never actually use recipes. I just kind of like wing it. I'll look online to see like what things commonly go together, but I almost never copy direct recipes. Oh my god, that's a lot more sophisticated than I expected. That definitely goes with conservative Christian wedding. I would love to show you guys the wedding photos, but I can't do it without making fun of them, so I won't. Just imagine the most straight, conservative fall girl, autumn, winter vibe pictures that you can with the brown saturation, and that's what you get.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, look, that's not Glenn cocktail right there. That's Glenn specifically leaving his niche, leaving his fun, bubbly, sparkly, poppy, amazing signature cocktails to make something that could fit for like a wedding, something that could fit for like people who aren't just drinking to get blacked out.
Right. Yeah. It's very like laid back. It's not like a drink to get drunk to. It's just a nice drink to drink.
Absolutely. I'm so proud of myself. I'm such a versatile bartender. Speaking of versatile bartending, this has nothing to do with versatile bartending whatsoever.
Right.
I'm kind of pissed because, like, so my friend getting married, steering away from the Oscars for just a second, then we'll go back to it because I have a point I want to argue. So my friend is getting married, and like obviously, like I've met his fiance. And like she's nice, she's wonderful, blah blah blah. I think she fits with him. Nothing issue-wise about like the relationship or anything like that, which is good. The problem here is of all the times to get married. So I know that COVID has probably put a little bit of a damper on weddings. As we know, a lot of weddings got postponed. Their wedding really wasn't like that. They only got engaged, I mean, roughly a year ago. And like I guess some engagements like goes quickly from like engaged to married, but like a year isn't that long of a time to just be engaged. Anyways, so my point is. And like, if they wanted a spring wedding, I can definitely see them wanting a spring wedding. You'd never be able to tell from their photos, but I can definitely see them wanting a spring wedding. I understand, but the point I'm getting here, the point that I'm dancing around is, of all the times to do a wedding, did it have to steal my thunder? It's right next to my birthday. Like, I am going to be filming my birthday video, like, either later tonight or tomorrow, because I won't have enough time to film the video that weekend, because I will be in Minnesota.
What were they thinking?
I know, it was so inconsiderate, and he knows that my birthday is there. When he sent me the invitation or whatever, I was like, this is very interesting. I'm not sure if I'll be able to attend. There's a very important event a couple days after. And he was like, Glenn, your birthday isn't more important than my wedding. And I didn't answer him. I left him on bed for a good like week before I responded. Also, don't make fun of my pineapple bag. We didn't have any of those blocks to put it in. I'm going to eat this pineapple tonight. It's going to be great. The guy's going to love it later. Sour lime. Okay, jumping back to the Oscars. There's two different points I want to make. One, so I guess I don't talk about it on here. I don't talk a lot about it just like in person either. Right. But I am on a podcast called I've been meaning to watch that. And all we do is talk about movies, TV shows, and obviously we're looking at all the Oscar movies right now, or like all the nominated ones. So jumping on that side for really quick, I want to know your opinion, because I don't think I've ever officially asked you because it's just never come up.
Yeah.
What did you think? Okay, first, did you watch Spencer?
I did watch Spencer.
Okay, yeah. I don't care about that. We'll get to that in a second. What did you think of Kirsten Stewart before Spencer?
Look, for the longest time until I was like maybe, I don't know, like 18, 19, I only knew her for Twilight. So I was still on the train, and same thing with Robert Pattinson. I was on the oh they suck train. But then I watched like other movies that they were in, and I realized that they were just dealt a bad set of cards with Twilight, and they're actually both really talented actors.
Exactly. Oh
so it's really sad, and it goes with the Batman as well. Like, I don't know if you remember when Robert Pattinson was announced. I remember telling my dad. Everyone hated it. They were just like, oh, they got the sparkly vampire. It's like, Jesus, are you still stuck in like 2008? Like, grow up.
A little bit. This one's a lot stronger. While you drink that, that's the one that you getting fucked up on. That's the one you're getting fucked up on.
Definitely.
I added a lot more vodka than I probably should have. If I was actually making this on my dad, less vodka. I'm sorry. But so here's the thing. I hate the Kirsten Stewart hate train that's been going on since Twilight, and so does my co-host Monica. And so we made. And it's also our most popular episode that we've ever had. Which she just told me that last week. We made a full episode watching like every Kirsten Stewart movie, like everyone starring her, and we talked about the top like 4 or 5. Obviously, we talked about Happiest Season because it was the Hulu one. We talked about Personal Shopper. We talked about Spencer because it happened. I think we purposely planned a podcast so it came out the week after Spencer came out.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, we talked about like Speak. We talked about
Charlie's Angels.
What?
Did you watch Charlie's Angels?
We didn't talk about Charlie's Angels. We did watch it, but we didn't talk about it.
Okay.
But yeah, so the hate train, especially on like Tumblr and that circle of the internet, still hates Kirsten Stewart or like loves her only for Twilight and thinks that she's just like a bad actor, but they like fan love her for Twilight. And I'm so happy because it doesn't matter if she wins. She could win. She very easily could win. It doesn't matter if she wins. Just the fact that she is nominated means that all that has to stop. You can't watch Spencer and then go back and watch some of her other movies and see that she is a nominated actress and still say that she's not talented.
I mean, just watch people do it too.
I mean, they're going to, but like, there's no basis. Now it's completely unfounded. Before, like, I had to, if someone brought it up, I would have to fight. Like, no, she's really good in these movies. Like, if you watch these, like, you know, Twilight is just like Twilight. Like, she isn't actually bad. But now it's just like, if you say you're just subjectively wrong. Like, you just didn't watch the movie. You just are obsessed with hating her, and it's fine. Like, I can't accept that, but now you're just wrong.
Pretty much.
And I love that.
100%.
I love that. Thank you. Okay, now going back, what did you think of Spencer?
Spencer, I am kind of sad that he didn't even get nominated for Best Picture.
I am too.
I
saw that list. Okay.
Yeah, there are some movies on there where I'm like, Spencer was better than this one. The first one that pops in my head is Don't Look Up.
Oh, facts.
Don't Look Up was good, don't get me wrong.
Okay.
But like, come on. Spencer was a bit more, I don't know, it just felt like a real study of a character. It was good.
I feel like part of what makes it good and why it will, I feel bad using the term snub because she did get nominated for Best Actress. Yeah. But I will use the word just because it's a buzzword. Snub is because, and I think I've told you about this, but so obviously Princess Diana is a very complicated situation. It's one of those conspiracy theories that like is basically just fact at this point that like she didn't just die, like something happened. That's like a very like tier 1 of the iceberg conspiracy theory.
Right.
But the portrayal of like the mental illnesses that she had and how she was caving under pressure and the stress of just being indoctrinated is the right word there, I'm so smart, into the royal family is so good. And I watched it when I wasn't doing like my best mentally. I had like a rough couple of days and so I was just stressed and tired and very emotional. I had to stop the movie like halfway through and I cried for like 45 minutes because just seeing someone else struggle, and it wasn't like a fake Hollywood struggle. It was just, like, it was raw, it was annoying, it was stuff that I was going through because like, I mean, I guess this is a little bit deep, but like when I am extremely like depressed or hurt, the first thing I go to is either my eating habits or my workout habits. Seeing someone go through something very similar, like the only thing that they can control about themselves is their body, and so they are like, even to the point of like actually like cutting themselves, not because like they necessarily want to or because it feels good, but just because they need to know that they have some element of control over something in their life, hit so hard.
Yeah.
And I would say that part of the reason it was snubbed is because if you don't have any experience with mental illness like yourself, or you don't know anyone personally that has struggled with it, it's really hard to understand why her character would do those things. So it doesn't make sense. It's not logical. It's purely emotional.
I appreciated specifically that there weren't many. Oh my goodness!
It's bad. Just flip the spoon over and read it.
I appreciated that there weren't like I don't know if you. I'm sure you mean what I know. But I appreciated that there weren't like Oscar moments.
Oh yeah.
Like moments in the movie where you can tell that it was specifically catered to make Kirsten a Best Actress nominee.
No, there definitely was not.
There weren't a lot of moments with that, and it was all about seriously just about the character, and that's why I think that's another reason why I wanted Spencer to be at least nominated for Best Picture, because I think they did a really good job with writing Princess Diana.
Oh, I love Strawberry Fanta so much. That's like in my top 5 favorite sodas. That's the sleeper. That has just as much alcohol as the pineapple one.
For real?
It's just getting a little bit better.
Going in for the second drink. God damn.
Okay. Thank goodness.
Okay.
I'm trying my hardest. It's because I talked about this, I ranted about this, and I need this to become true. The Mitchells versus the Machines needs to win over Encanto.
I'm just gonna say it. It won't.
It won't, but I need it to.
I
100%, like if someone asks me what I think is going to win Animated Best Picture, I'm just saying Encanto. Yeah. But I don't want it to be. It won't be good for the... Okay, so I'm thinking about this from the future of animation. So I love Encanto. I loved it. I love the soundtrack. I love everything about it. It's beautiful. But you could take basically any element of it, like visually, and you could put it in Tangled, and you couldn't tell me that those movies didn't come out the same year. Like, Disney knows what it's best at, and it makes it look crisper and brighter and clearer, but it doesn't look any different. The skin tones are there now. We have some more culture there, but like the actual feel of the entire animation is exactly what we got almost 10 years ago at this point. Versus the Mitchells vs. the Machines, it's like Into the Spider-Verse. It allows creatives to know that, hey, I can do something wacky and weird, and it will still like get attention. I can get noticed. I can actually do great things because, I mean, like, not because it's weird, but like in spite of it being weird, I'm allowed to take those creative, artistic choices, and I feel like it would usher in I guess kind of like the next age of like, I won't even call it like children animation because it's not necessarily focused on children anymore, but just like animation in general. Stuff that's more experimental, stuff that involves the internet more, stuff that's just more exciting to look at and less pleasing to look at.
What I liked about that movie, and I'm kind of on the same train, I would like Mitchells vs. the Machines to win over Encanto, even though I don't think it will.
No.
I just really appreciate it. You know, I think something that has to be considered, especially in the best animation feature category, is not the quality of animation, but maybe what you're doing with the animation, how it's incorporated into the film. And I really, it's something I really liked about Mitchells vs. the Machines is that there was a lot of different types of animations, and it wasn't like shoehorned into the film. It was used in a way that made sense, and I thought it was it made the film a lot more fun. Had it not tried something new with every other scene, I feel like the movie would have fell flat.
Exactly, like the animation saved the movie. No, I won't say exactly saved because it's an interesting story in and of itself. But like, it definitely made the movie worth talking about. And obviously, like, clearly it got nominated, so it was definitely like worth.
Yeah, it was a good movie. But I feel like had it been animated like Encanto, right? People would have just said, "Oh yeah, it was a good movie," but like, it was a movie we've seen. You know, we gotta love family, and it's a movie we've all seen.
Yeah, which is sad. Okay, that's all I want to bring up. I just bring it up whenever I can. The fact that it needs and won't win.
How did you feel about Dune?
So here's the thing. Sometimes I forget to flex the fact that I'm a late nerd. I remember reading Dune. Like, Dune is one of the first science fiction novels I read because my dad forced me to. And after like the first like half of it, I was like, I'm not being forced anymore. And then unfortunately, I read all the other books. The only other ones that are good are the next two. The other three get really experimental and weird. And I won't call it the bad way, but it doesn't capture the original magic of the story. So there's that. But I love Dune, the book. And when I heard that they were going to make it a two-part and that actually gives them time to do it justice, I was very excited. I forced all of my friends to watch it like as soon as it came out, and I loved it because I was hanging out for the edge of my seat.
Yeah.
And then they actually loved it, and I didn't think they would like it. I felt like I would have to be like dragging them, kicking and screaming to even watch it, but they all loved it afterwards. I'm so excited. The second part is greenlit. Which they knew was going to happen. Like, there was no doubt in their heads. Like, okay, we're gonna get green light. We have Zendaya in it. Okay, it's going to get part 2.
Oh yeah, they knew that they were gonna use Zendaya hard.
They're like, if Euphoria got part 2, then just because of Zendaya, then of course this is going to get part 2.
Right.
Also, in the benefit, I'm gonna squash this. A lot of people are mad about this, and I pretended to be mad about it because it was funny, but it's also true. The character that Zendaya is playing really isn't there in the first half of the book. Like, if they had actively made her part of the story, it would have been forcing Zendaya in to shoehorn Zendaya in. It wouldn't have been holding up to the story. Expect to see a lot more of her in the second one because that's when her character actually matters. So I saw a lot of people upset that like Zendaya was like barely featured in like the movie at all. I was like, but they knew they were going to get the part 2.
Yeah.
And they were just sticking to the story. I'm sorry that you only went for Zendaya and you barely got Zendaya, but like you could have looked up a synopsis of the book and like looked at her character's name and seen like, oh, this character's name in this Wikipedia article isn't really mentioned until halfway through the synopsis. So, reasonable to assume she's not really going to appear until the second part of the movie. Or like second part of like the movies.
Yeah, right. I think what tripped people up was that Zendaya was used so frequently in the advertising, and that was purposeful.
Here's the thing. If I got the opportunity to even breathe the same air as Zendaya, like we got invited to the same premiere or something, you know that she's all I'm going to post. Like if I was a director, I got the chance to work with Zendaya, and Zendaya is like one of, if not arguably the biggest it girl right now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
She better be in every single promotional material. I don't care if she's in one flashback. She has 0.3 seconds of screen time in the entire 4-hour movie. She will be in every single promotional image that we can get. Oh, not bad. I might add some more ginger ale. But you can try it before. It's a lot more... I like it. I think I did a good job. The sour covers a lot of the alcohol.
It's very tart.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe if it was, I don't know. I guess I'm not a big fan of the tart drinks. If it was maybe a little sweeter, I think I'd be cool with it.
We'll see what we can
But
do.
yeah.
But yeah, what did you think of Dune? I'm guessing that you also have a positive opinion of it.
Well, yeah, I really liked Dune. I honestly expected it to sweep the Oscars. I didn't expect at all for it to be The Power of the Dog. I don't know if you saw Power of the Dog.
I did not see it until it was recommended.
Oh God! Look, it's a great movie. It's good. I get it, but
But sorry, did The Power of the Dog make the Sahara Desert? I'm not sure if it's from the Sahara.
Yeah.
Did it make the Sahara Desert look gorgeous? No, it did not.
no. I mean, it looked great. Don't get me wrong. They filmed it in Australia, I think, and the mountain ranges looked fucking amazing.
Fixed it.
But fixed it. Oh,
This
bet.
is important.
Bet. Yep.
Ah, thank God.
Okay, that's good. I like that. And like Benedict Cumberbatch was great and everything. I don't think Power of the Dog is gonna win much other than maybe. I think it has a chance at cinematography. Personally, I hope Dune wins.
You can talk after about something.
Yeah, I think Jane Campion might win Best Director.
Okay.
Even though personally, I want God, I forget his name. He's the director of Drive My Car. I want him personally.
I'm not going to figure out that director's name, but yes, I know who you're talking about.
God, he's like Ryusuke something. So I think those two are the ones that Best Picture and Best Director that might win for Power of the Dog, but I don't think any like Best Actor,
No.
Best Supporting Actor.
No.
Because Best Supporting Actor, Cody Smith-McPhee, I think is his name. He's way too young.
Yeah.
The thing is, you got to be at least a certain age before the Academy will even begin to think of you as a Best Actor winner.
Yeah.
That's another reason why I don't think Andrew Garfield is going to win Best Actor either. I think it's going to be Will Smith. I think it's really easy.
No. I mean, like, I 100% agree with you. I just don't agree with...
No, I don't want Will Smith to win either. I want Denzel to win for the tragedy of Macbeth.
Yeah.
But I think Andrew Garfield was the easiest, like, no, you're not going to win.
Yeah.
Because he's not even 40.
See, here's the thing. Okay, first of all, we could have a whole talk. We could have a whole talk about, like, the favoritism in the Oscars. I'm going to say that instead of going over all the other isms that we could categorize as. We're just
Right.
gonna lump it all together under favoritism.
Yeah.
But like obviously we know this, and we know just by who's performing at the Oscars. They purposely invite certain people just because they know good people to watch.
Yeah.
And Andrew Garfield is definitely one of those. They just want a pretty face to be nominated because they know it's going to win people in, especially after the success of No Way Home.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of reminded... Sorry, I was thinking of a very sort of thing. It kind of reminded people that Andrew Garfield like exists. I know that you don't care about this whatsoever, but it's a very similar effect. And anyone who like knows what I'm talking about, knows exactly what I'm talking about. I feel like what happened with Andrew Garfield in No Way Home is exactly what happened with Dylan O'Brien and All Too Well. I legitimately, like I was on Twitter, obviously, as a Swiftie. People legitimately didn't know who Dylan O'Brien was until after they saw the Taylor Swift short film, All Too Well.
Really?
Like, there was like, because there was mostly like younger people, but like
yes.
Dylan O'Brien is very much like not even early 2000s.
It's like mid 2000s.
So like mid 2000s, like you've had to watch movies and be like actively consuming media then to like really know who he was.
Oh well, he was in the Maze Runner too. That was like
yeah, but he was
10s.
in. Yeah, but I mean that's not really a yeah. I wasn't going to bring that up. But like the same thing that's happening with Andrew Garfield, that like a new age is being introduced to him because of Far From Home, so he's becoming like the new favorite white boy. Very much so exactly what happened with Dylan O'Brien a couple of months ago when the All Too Well short film came out. It was kind of funny to see because I was like, people were legitimately asking. They were like, there was like even some BuzzFeed articles like, who is like Dylan O'Brien from All Too Well. I was like there's things titled that way, like, oh, you've never heard of this like really small like indie actor who just happened to star in this music video? Here's some other work that he's been in that you might be interested in. I was like, wow, okay. First of all, I've always been paying attention to Dylan O'Brien. I find him absolutely amazing, and he's hot. He has always been decently attractive. That's the Hollywood effect. So I've always been paying attention to it. It was just so funny. Anyways, the point is that's the same thing that Andrew Garfield is going through right now. Because like, besides Tick Tick Boom, obviously, which is just came out,
right.
What has Andrew Garfield really done noteworthy between The Amazing Spider-Man 2 and Far From Home and No Way Home / Tick Tick Boom?
Was The Social Network between Amazing Spider-Man, or was that before Amazing Spider-Man?
I think that was before The Amazing Spider-Man.
Because he was in The Social Network and he did really good in it. I can't think of anything.
And the same thing with Dylan O'Brien. He really didn't do much. He hasn't been doing much recently.
Right.
So like it's understandable. I understand what happens. If you're not actively in the public eye, they'll forget about you. But it's still funny to see.
I can't wait till it happens to Logan Learman whenever he comes back.
You honestly think Logan Learman's coming back?
Yes, easy. He shows
me
up,
too.
Oh my gosh, I can't fucking speak right now. He shows up on Twitter every few months when he becomes Twitter's white boy of the day, and it's him with the beard, and it's usually them being like, cast Logan Learman as Poseidon in the new Percy Jackson. And like half of the people are like, yes, and the other half is just like, just Logan Learman.
That is fair. But yeah, jumping back to what you originally brought this up, he's just there. He's not gonna win.
No, he won't win.
I'm sorry to anyone who thinks that he's going to.
It's Will Smith. He's older. He's been nominated before and it's been snubbed. It's happened so many times. Like, the last time I think it happened was a few years ago with Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
Nobody, and I mean nobody, saw The Darkest Hour.
No.
Nobody saw that movie because it was some stupid movie about Winston Churchill. And it's boring. It's so boring. And
all the British fans are going to come and attack you.
Whatever.
Britain's like my second most popular country. I think I almost have more fans in the UK than I do in the US.
Look.
I'm gonna kill you.
The movie was fine. It was just boring, and Gary Oldman did a good job. He's a great actor, but it wasn't Best Actor that year, if you ask me. Yeah. He only won because he's old, and he's been nominated before, and it's basically the Academy being like, hey, we've kind of screwed you over a few times, here's an Oscar. I think that's what's going to happen with Will Smith, even though I don't think he should win.
It's so polite of them to do it, though.
And I don't know if you saw King Richard. That movie wasn't great. And it surprised the hell out of me that I got a Best Picture nomination.
So, I didn't see King Richard. I promoted the hell out of it, obviously. Thank you, HBO Max. But I can't watch it because, like, it looked like it wasn't going to be that interesting. And so I would decide to wait. Like, it was on HBO Max. I could watch it anytime. I wasn't rushing. And so I waited a couple of days. Yeah. And the reviews came in. And people didn't... No one had anything really great to say about it. So I was like, oh, well, I don't need to pay attention to it. And then I saw that it got nominated. And that still wasn't enough to get me to watch it.
Yeah. I mean, the only reason you would watch that movie is to see Will Smith's performance, and it isn't bad. It's good.
Fair.
It's just like all the other, even Andrew Garfield, I think he did better than Will Smith. King Richard just didn't give Will a lot. The whole movie was him. So I don't know. I don't think he should win, but he will win.
Which is. See, look how secret that is. It's definitely not what you like. I can tell you 100% that's not what you like.
Yeah. Not my thing. It almost tastes like tea.
It is tea. There's tea.
Oh, is that tea?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there it is.
Mm-hmm. This is very much what the older, I can't even say it, like the older moms, some older dads are, because it's very, I mean, it's an alcoholic Arnold Palmer.
Oh,
Did you
okay.
hear? Oh my god. I actually said that entire sentence without like the list kicking me in the face. I'm just gonna down these drinks now, absolutely. Is there anything else that you want to talk Oscar related?
Not really. I mean, I think I said what I gotta say. I mean, I hope Ariana DeBose, I think that's how you say her name. I hope she wins Best Supporting Actress for West Side. Did you see West Side?
We didn't even talk about West Side.
Yeah, did you see West Side?
Of course I saw West Side. As two musical theater nerds, how did we not bring up West Side?
I considered it at some point because Sabrina and I were talking about it, but I just completely spaced. Did you like it? How did you like it?
So here's the thing. I liked it for what it was, but I think it was beautiful. It was gorgeous, it was amazing, it was wonderful.
Right.
However, West Side Story is a little bit too personal to me, not for any the racial reasons or like immigration reasons or anything like that, but just because my dad absolutely loved West Side Story, and oh my god, do you remember when I used to try to impress my dad with everything? It was the first musical that I had the entire soundtrack memorized because like my dad loved it, so we would watch it constantly. I think I was like 6 years old. I knew like every word of every song. I even like knew a lot of the choreography. I even went to like some of the This is super embarrassing.
Okay.
But I went to my high school. They did this thing. They were partnering with like a local, I think it was Front Porch, technically, something like that in like our area.
Yeah.
And like they sent a bunch of students from a bunch of different schools to see West Side Story when it happened at the Guthrie. And I was the only one from my school that went. I went by myself, and instead of talking to anyone because I was a nerd, I was reading the script for Almost Maine because it was right when Almost Maine. Like, the cast had already been announced, and so I was just reading all the scripts because I hadn't, like, actually taken the time to sit and read through all of them.
Right.
So everyone else was, like, mingling and talking. I had no one to talk to. I read all of Almost Maine while waiting for the show. I loved it. I was vibing. And it was the same thing in that show, and it's the same thing for this movie. I have too many childhood loving memories of watching the movie that I can't love any new adaptation. Like, I'll like it, I can appreciate it for what it is, I can objectively say that it's really good or that's beautiful or stunning, but it's not going to be able to replace it in my heart.
Well, I don't have that personal of a connection with West Side. In fact, I don't actually like West Side that much. It's too dancey. It just feels so silly sometimes.
Here's the thing, this is the embarrassing part. I cut it out, like, mentally I was cutting it out, I didn't bring it up. I'll actually bring it up since you brought it up. So I'm a triple threat, obviously. I'm an amazing singer, I'm a beautiful actor, I'm a wonderful dancer. But I started with dancing. Dancing is where I went best, dancing is where I have the most experience in, out of all three of those areas. And my favorite musical of all time is Anything Goes, because of the dancing, because of the tap routines. This is the embarrassing thing.
Yeah, okay.
So we watched the Guthrie that day. Like, that was the first part of these experiences. The second part was like workshop things. Musical theater related.
Yeah.
And one of the workshops is that we got to learn one of the numbers. I think it was the opening number from West Side Story. Like, we got to learn the like official like Broadway choreography for it.
Yeah.
And when we did this, I already knew all the choreography and I didn't fall asleep because I still had it memorized. It had been probably like a good 5-6 years since I'd ever like done it.
Yeah.
I still knew every step. I was on time, I was on beat. She started playing the music and I immediately went through and did all of it with her. And it was so embarrassing. Imagine out musically theatering the musical theater kids. That was the embarrassing part. That haunts my memories.
Embarrassing for them.
Yeah, honestly. Like, the secondhand embarrassment I got knowing that people were watching me, knowing that they never get to my level and I wasn't even trying to pursue musical theater, I just happened to be there. It was so embarrassing. But I know that you don't like dance musicals very much, and West Side Story is only a dance musical.
Yeah, and the thing is, this is just a me thing. I understand that it's just a me thing. But I just couldn't take the Jets or the Sharks very seriously when they were, walking down the street.
Wow.
Hey, rough! Why don't we rough up these Sharks, eh? And it's just like, oh, fuck me.
But it's so... I'm gonna say it because it's true. It's camp. It's
It is a
100%
little
camp.
campy.
And done straight-faced flatly, because no one's laughing
No,
at them do
it's
this.
very
They
serious.
fully believe that's serious, and I love it. Like, that amount of, like, commitment to something that is very silly, like, watching, like, take place is amazing. But yeah, I do completely understand.
Yeah,
I know that
yeah.
someone who doesn't have a deep spiritual connection to West Side Story is going to get very sick of the flowy dresses and the
Right,
constant
yeah.
dancing. I guess I'm not surprised with where it landed, to be honest, because I wouldn't have given it anything more.
I think it was one of the big contenders for Best Picture just because it won Best Picture way back in the 60s.
Yeah, okay,
Hollywood,
true, I
Hollywood
forgot.
loves jerking themselves off.
Yeah, but do they love jerking themselves off when it's culturally appropriate?
If there is any opportunity for them to celebrate how amazing and how beautiful Hollywood is, they'll do it. There's a reason The Artist won Best Picture back when it won.
The Artist didn't win Best Picture.
It did.
You can't convince me.
I mean-
I'm aware, but it's not true.
And it was a fine movie, but you just know that it won because it was about Hollywood.
Yeah.
And so I think West Side was one of the bigger contenders for Best Picture just because it won all the way back then, and you know the Academy could go, oh, we gave this Best Picture all in the 60s. We can do it again. It's a callback.
I like how they say we, and they very much mean we. Like, not every single person that nominated it and got it to win back in the 60s are actually still alive and controlling who's going to win it this time.
They're immortal.
Licorice Pizza.
It was good. Undoubtedly uncomfortable.
Horribly uncomfortable. And it's not nominated because it's uncomfortable. It's nominated because they think it's good.
I thought it was good, but I mean it is.
Okay, so let me rephrase what I'm saying. It's not nominated because it's a good movie that deals with an uncomfortable scenario in a nuanced, interesting way that gives new light to this issue. It's nominated because it partially glorifies that very common, I feel bad kind of saying this, but this very relatable thing that a lot of especially straight white American men can relate to, of being, like, MILFs are always popular. Right now, Elastigirl is like the most trending thing on Twitter. It's something that's very easily every single white male in the room, straight white male in the room will be able to immediately connect with that character. And just because, like, we know who's controlling Hollywood, I feel like it's much more nominated because of that, because of the relatability of it, than it is because it's a good movie dealing with an interesting topic, or an uncomfortable topic, in an interesting way.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that might be a part of it. I also think that there are just people in that movie that might have maybe swung the pendulum toward a nomination.
Yeah.
I think putting Cooper Hoffman in there was this is his first acting role since his dad died.
Yeah,
Seymour
I
Hoffman.
forgot about that. Yeah.
And so I think that was like a big pendulum swinger. I think PTA, the director, he most of his shit just gets nominated because it's really good.
Yeah. I agree.
So I think some of the names attached to it also may have contributed, but I see where you're coming from.
Yeah. I watched Licorice Pizza, and
I was expecting a better movie.
I was
but-
like, okay. First of all, okay. Let me rephrase that. I was not expecting anything better. It was
okay.
exactly what I expected it was. I was just hoping that maybe, possibly, cross my fingers, I was wrong. I'm not wrong very often. It's one of the fatal flaws of myself. But I do appreciate when I'm pleasantly wrong. And I was not pleasantly wrong at all. In fact, I was unfortunately exactly
Correct.
right. As usual. Which hurts. And again, it goes back to, like we just said, like, it's kind of like the favoritism thing again. It's less about the movie, it's more about the people attached to the movie.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't win.
I don't think it'll
Then I'll
win
let it
anything
pass.
really. I don't think there's a
I hope not. I mean, we're gonna find out soon.
Yeah, right.
But I nailed all these drinks. Again, I would like to make this clear. There's a recipe. No measurements. just kind of combining. I didn't buy a single thing for this video. This is just what we already had, and for the record, we are kind of alcoholics, so there's just like happens to be a lot of stuff always in our place. But I'm so proud of myself. If any of these drinks happen to make an appearance, let me take that back. None of these drinks actually make an appearance. No one's gonna use strawberry flavored crush at a wedding.
Yeah. I feel like the first one, if any of them have a chance. I still think the first one is like the best like wedding drink.
True. Wait, where's the first one? This might have all been for nothing. This might be the best wedding cocktail that I get.
Well, you got content out of it. That's for sure.
And we got to talk about the Oscars, and we actually got to talk. We like never talk.
Yeah, that's true.
It's on purpose.
A little bit.
We really don't like each other. Like it's just an on-camera connection.
Nah. I'm not going to deny that.
Thank you. It's the actor in him. He just, whenever he's on camera, he knows that he has to perform. He has to at least pretend to like his co-hosts, his fellow actors, his crew.
I'd like to thank my parents for convincing me to come out here. It was a big choice. It was a big chance.
Wait a second. No, you don't think your parents are convincing you to come out here. Thank Glenn and Serena, who took him on a spring break trip to California back in 2019. And we walked through, I don't know which neighborhood we walked through. But we walked through a random neighborhood and he was looking at all the nice lawns and the houses and everything. He was like, I can see myself living here.
Right, I'll split it. I'll split it. It's between Sabrina, Glenn, and my parents.
Okay, thank you. That's all I need is the fair recognition.
Okay.
I'm sorry I kept you a lot longer than I was actually supposed to. You actually have to go and film an actual video. You can head out. I'll wrap up the rest of this video. Have fun.
I will.
Okay, so thank you for watching that video, and thank you for listening to us talk about the Oscars, even though I understand by the time this comes out, the Oscars have already happened. And wouldn't it be great to see how right we were about literally everything that we talked about? That's so impressive. I can't believe we did that. What can you say? What can you say? What can you say that hasn't already been said? If you like this video, don't forget to actually like it. Comment down below. How many of these things should we write about? I know that it's probably just going to be a bunch of comments saying all of them, but like, which opinions do you agree with also? Just fill it up. Hit that subscribe button, new videos every Friday. Like I said, when you're watching this, I'm currently rushing through traffic to try to catch my flight to Minnesota. So pray for me. I really appreciate that. LAX is always a nightmare. I have a podcast with my friend Hannah. The funny clip will be here. We're minorities.
That's a good point.
We're minorities in the horror story. That ghost would have let us survive 30 fucking seconds. Like, I would have opened my phone to see if it had service. I would have been killed before I could even say the words, I don't have any service.
Not only would they kill us, they'd probably like throw in a few racial slurs while they were doing it. I wouldn't even be scared. I'd be like, you know what? Just let it happen.
And he's just laying them on, just like boom, 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 boom. It's like a sequence. It's a full-on sentence. It's a full-on
sentence. He would wait to kill us until all of that was out of him. Like, I feel like
he'd be like out there the next time I go see a black kid, so I gotta get it all out now. I think that's all on you guys, so let's have some fun and smile, because Kristen Stewart is no longer the laughingstock of the female acting world. She is now a nominated actress, not an award-winning actress, unfortunately, but a nominated actress with a great movie, and that can finally end the discourse about it.